Believe it or not, we're in the Middle Ages. Not that ancient time in our history, but the Middle Ages between where we used to be, who we used to be, and who we're going to be, and where we're going to be. Hi, this is Barry Phillips, a 10-minute tour, day one of Bamidbar in the wilderness. And since we're talking about the wilderness, I thought, well, let's go outside and have a wilderness setting. In the background, you may hear everything from someone working on their home to various animal noises from someone's version of a farm down the road. Um, we are in the book of Numbers, Bamidbar, chapter number 1. And verse 1 through 3 read this way. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tent of appointment, on the first day, to the second new moon, in the second year, after they had come out of the land of Mitzrayim, saying, Take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel by their clans, by their fathers' houses, according to the number of names, every male, head by head, from 20 years old and above, everyone going out to the army in Israel, number them by their divisions, you and Aaron. When we began to analyze this text just a little bit, we did something with this similarly last week. Today, let's look at the word Bamidbar. It's spelled with a bet, a house, a mem, which can be mighty or waters or chaos, a dalet, which is referencing a door, another bet, which we're now talking about a different house, and then a resh, which again, as we discovered last week, talks about the head or the chief or supreme one. So perhaps an idea of looking at Bamidbar would be to say that the house of chaos opens a door to the house of the supreme one. Normally we would think that the chaos in our life is antithetical to what Yah would want. Yah specializes in taking that which seems to be chaotic or out of alignment or ill-managed and uses that in such a way as to bring about His system, His order, His way, so that we are then capable of entering in His house. And that's basically all that this book is about. There are various stages of being counted and various stages of rebellion and issues that people have that rise to the surface. There's a lot of tragedy in this book. There's some victories. There's some profound teachings. But all of this combined to bring about an increased state of ability and stability for Israel, even if it means weeding out quite a number of them. And so if we look at the first command here, notice that it comes from the tabernacle, from inside the tent of meeting, the tent of appointment. Yah is speaking to Moshe here from the inner chamber. His house is in the midst of Israel. His glory, his Shekinah, is manifested there. The people can see it. Every morning when they awaken and go out of their tent door should be facing the Mishkan, the tabernacle. And it should be that the first thing that they would see in the morning is the cloud of the Father's presence abiding over His house. You would think that when the glory comes, when the power is manifested, that all problems are solved. Well, as being revealed to us in these days where we are currently counting the Omer, the days between first fruits and Shavuot, Pentecost, our stuff is probably rising to the surface. And as we get closer to the outpouring of His Spirit and the giving of His Word, then we find that the glory is increasing and revealing. The glory, the manifestation of his presence, is not about goosebumps, and hair standing on end, and oohs and ahs. It's not necessarily about revival euphoria. It's about revelation. And as he is revealed, the reality is, so are we. Yeshua taught in Yochanan, the book of John, chapter 3, about those who preferred the darkness over the light, because the light would reveal that their works were wicked. But those who love the light will come to the light, that they can be truly seen as they are. Just because you love the light and you love Yeshua and you're focused on trying to live as he would teach you to live, it doesn't mean that everything is perfectly aligned and properly in order. Matter of fact, behind the closet door, there could be a big pile waiting to fall into the floor. We hide our stuff, and we're good at it. We mask it over. We put makeup on it. We dress it up. We put hats on. We do a lot of things to hide the reality of things. But Yah sees what is hidden, and it's in the wilderness. It's in the wilderness where the command will come forth from his presence, be counted. And this process, as we'll discover, means individually everyone is acknowledged and seen, named, and counted. So he knows you individually. He knows us collectively, and he sees us collectively. Primarily, he sees us as community. He sees us as a nation of people scattered throughout the earth. But he knows us very much in an individual fashion as well. Even counting the hair on our head, number of eyelashes, he's got it all memorized. It's all written down. He knows us, but do we know ourselves? That's the big question. How well do we really know ourselves? Do we only identify ourselves as the most preferred version that we can present in public? Or are we willing to get down with it and just deal with that other version, however it might be? Probably a little less than publicly presented. Yah loves us all the way through and wants to refine both versions, for neither one is complete. So, being counted involves hearing your name called. It's your chance, your time, you're next. This leads us to a very important part of being in the wilderness. We're away from the climate-controlled version of life. We're exposed to all of the racket of the world that is around us. Everything from somebody's pneumatic tool driving a bolt or something down the woods here to birds overhead, airplanes. It's all distracting. But the reality is, in the middle of all of the distraction, Yah is saying, discern my voice. Moshe could hear his voice. He had trained his ears spiritually and physically to pay attention to what was being said from inside the tabernacle, from the realm of the glory. Now, if you awaken in the morning and your habit is to turn on the news and catch up with the events of the day, you can catch up with that. If it's to neatly go to the Word, that's a good choice. But the thing is, whether we're doing one routine or the other, Yah is saying to us, discern my voice from the place of my abiding glory. That's a higher voice. Eliyahu HaNavi, Elijah the prophet, stood out on the ledge of a cave, shaking, not because of thunder and lightning or wind or earthquakes, but because of a quiet and still voice that he very well recognized. That brought him into the holy chamber. The wilderness may be trying and testing. It may be very distracting and busy. But in the middle of all of this, Yah is speaking. if we'll just close up everything else and listen to Him. May you hear His voice today, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. To then, shalom.